Hey, happy Friday. I am meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios on this April the 25th, and we've got plenty to talk about on this Friday morning as we do have scattered showers and some thunderstorms across the area. In fact, there you go. There's a look at a bunch of the rain that we have across the area. Bring that up here full screen. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about a lot of the rain that we have across the area for today. You can see that moving in from the west and southwest. So you're probably feeling the humidity out there if you've stepped outside. So some locally heavy rainfall is definitely going to be possible in store for today. Now, thankfully, the severe weather threat is super low for us. But some rumbles of thunder, seeing a few lightning strikes off to the southwest in Breckenridge County in Kentucky so far this morning. So I think the main issue with this rainfall, obviously, it's going to interrupt and probably cancel any of your outdoor plans. My son's got a baseball game at 5 o'clock, which will likely be canceled for today. It's just going to be too wet on those fields out there. But also, the locally heavy rain could cause some ponding of water in some areas and possibly some localized flooding to watch out for as well. So that is what we have today. A wet Friday, no doubt about that. And then we're going to be drying out overnight. The rain will start to taper off, dissipate overnight, and we're all dry by sunrise tomorrow morning. I think we'll have a considerable amount of clouds that will linger for tomorrow, and then we will see temps in the 60s, so a bit cooler for our Saturday, but again, dry, and then sunny and low 70s on Sunday. Now, Derby week starts off warm and mainly dry Monday, Tuesday, late Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thurby, unsettled weather. We're going to be looking at all that as well here over the next few minutes. So that is a look at the rainfall that we have across the area right now as I bring that up into full screen, just showing you where the rain is at right now. So we've got a break in the rain at the moment, Scottsburg, Austin, Salem, Charlestown, but there you can see some of the heavier showers moving towards Paoli into Crawford County. Pretty steady, at times heavy rainfall there around the Jasper area too. I'm going to go ahead and bring up basically a more high resolution weather model, actually some of the radar data here. So this is the live scan of the radar. I can go ahead and bring this up full screen as well. So you can see definitely some heavier pockets of rain there. You can see that live scan as well from the radar site at Fort Knox. So getting in on some of this heavy rainfall, moving toward English, Indiana, and down 64 west of New Albany and west of Louisville right now. Jasper, some heavier rainfall, some of the heaviest rainfall rates we're seeing right now here in Breckenridge County, heading towards the Irvington, Kentucky area. So in the middle, kind of up and down I-65, a bit of a break for the moment, but this big swath of wet weather is going to be moving to the east and northeast over the next couple of hours. So just expect some soggy and saturated conditions here for much of the region, just periods of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast here for today. So we're going to dig in more to, again, the rain chances today. Look at the weather model data for the rest of today, hour by hour. Got also kind of we'll start off with a little bit of a slideshow, a little show and tell here for you as well before we kind of dig deeper into that forecast. So we've got a good morning right off the bat from Diana Peine, my stepmom. Good morning to you. Naomi Woods, good morning. And we've got a good morning from Marengo, Indiana, from Dorothy McDaniel. Beverly Hagist, loyal viewer. Good morning from Borden, Indiana. And we've got Judy Tyndall from Cloverport. So yeah, thanks for all of the good mornings this morning. So right here, we are at 10:04 on your Friday, April the 25th. So I'm going to remove that, bring up our little slideshow here. So what's happening here? So this happened in my neighborhood, very sketchy situation. That is a mower, and this is a very, very steep incline, by the way. Probably like 60% grade on this hill. And notice the tire tracks from this zero-turn mower sliding all the way from the house, all the way down the hill, and barreling through the barrier here and almost landing in the pond. So a very dangerous situation. So what's happening? This was a neighbor who will remain unnamed because it was kind of an embarrassing situation. Mike, sorry, sorry about that happening there. But again, I'm just glad he's okay. So what happened? You can tell it was wet. So this is just a reminder, precaution here. A tale to not do this is it was wet. You can see the mud on the tires, slid all the way down, tried to fix it, did like a 360 right before dumping it in the pond. But the thing that saved my neighbor Mike was that he did put up those poles and that rope went around his ankle and then stopped him from going into the pond. Now, I myself would have jumped off. And I've got a story about that same mower and myself jumping off that thing too. So I texted him after he sent me that picture. I said, so did you pucker up a little bit when that happened? And he said, 2 drops of pee fell out. So I'm sure it would probably even be worse for me if that happened. But so I had a hernia surgery like 2 years ago. And my neighbor Mike, my awesome neighbor, let me borrow that same zero-turn mower. I had never used it before. Our neighborhood is super hilly. Our whole yard is basically a hill. And as I was going down, it flew down the hill. I was trying to save it with the zero turn, the handlebars. I saved it, went up to the road, and I calmed down a little bit. And then as I turned around the electrical box, it went straight downhill. I jumped off, and it kept going down the ravine. I made a call to my neighbor Mike. I said, we've got to pull this thing out. So just like he did in his backyard, got the side-by-side, got the winch and pulled it out. And I said, take that thing back home because I've got a pond as well with a steep hill. And I probably would have done worse there. Glad Mike is okay. Again, if you missed it, there is that dangerous situation where that rope saved him. So I think you should put maybe a couple extra layers of rope next time, just to make it even more sturdy there for him. So that's the first part of our show and tell this morning. We got a good morning from Vicki Berger. Thanks for watching there from Salem. Actually, I think I'll be heading up to have some lunch at the El Maguey later on this afternoon. Barbara Brownfield, good morning to you. And Barb Rainbolt, the best weather name ever, good morning to you. And Lillian Lasley, have a nice day. Have a fantastic Friday. Good morning to Lillian. Good to see your names and faces in our show this morning. So back to our little slideshow here. This was posted to Instagram from Floyd Friels. He owns the Tiny Skate Shop there at Vincennes and Charlestown Road. Awesome guy. Owned Riot Skate Park, which was a huge indoor skate park in Louisville there, I think off Bluegrass, right there in J-Town off of Hurstbourne Parkway. I used to take my son there all the time. And so what he is encouraging you to do, so this is a look at the mud that is still there over the Flow Park, thanks to the Great Ohio River. He said he's left it a mess. So this Sunday, April 27th, 12 to 5, volunteer cleanup at the New Albany Matt Brewer Flow Park. Bring whatever you can, shovels, brooms, garbage cans, dollies, leaf blowers. Good work ethic, dress to work. You don't have to be a skater to support Indiana skateboarding. So definitely support our local park there, which is an awesome thing to have there along the waterfront. I've been there myself and done a little skating too. My son, when he was about 10, was big time into skateboarding, so we were there quite a bit. Okay, we've got, just trying to give some more shout outs here. Edward Jewell from Okolona, thanks for tuning in here. Linda Lawrence is watching. And Helen says, glad no injuries from your speeding lawnmowers. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, when that lawnmower went down the hill into the ravine, I ended up, it was a week out from my hernia surgery, and I just walk mode like I normally do. Got a little mowing story from yesterday as well I'll share for you here in just a second. Good morning from Georgetown from Jackie Strange. Thanks for watching here. And Vicky says, could have been bad for Mike. Glad he's good. And Paul Sievert, thanks for tuning in there. And we've got a Ed Callahan, good morning. So Paul asking, retired? I didn't retire. I'm too young for that. I'd go bankrupt pretty quickly if I retired. But I retired from the television news side of things for sure. Ed Callahan, again, thanks for watching here this morning. Moving on with our slideshow, and again, I promise we'll get to the radar, the satellite, the weather models, and all that good stuff here in just a second. So that was my afternoon yesterday. The right is a picture from Jennifer Flispart in Clarksville. The storms popping up. Again, it was kind of hit or miss in nature, just depending on your location. It was all about location yesterday, whether you got the heavy rain or not. So at my house, I got about probably over an inch of rainfall, and then a few miles down the road in Borden, Indiana, where we had a ball game versus Christian Academy. They had very little rainfall actually, but had to put on the ponchos for a little bit at the beginning of the ball game before we dried out. Now, let me show you a little bit before that. I was talking to you about an inch of rainfall at my house. So I don't know if you saw this on my Facebook page, but
well, trying to mow before the showers. Yeah, it didn't work out too well. Belt started slipping on the mower. I started slipping. Pretty wet. I guess we'll call it a day. I'm the lucky one. Got the isolated shower today.
Yeah, so that was fun yesterday. I started to get initially some big raindrops on the mower, and then it came down heavier when I was in the back part of the yard. And then once the belts get wet, it does not want to climb uphill. So the mower was done after that. But I ended up getting through it and getting the yard mowed after a couple of days. Now, what's the good part about this rain that we're having across the area? The hostas are growing like crazy. So actually, I want to thank Reed Yaden. A lot of you might know meteorologist Reed Yaden. Was my coworker for 17 years. He actually let me take this from his house, which was out by Oxmoor in Louisville on the East End. And this was actually one big hosta. We cut it in half. And then those have been growing really good for probably, I don't know, 8 years or so, maybe more than that. The problem is they're in direct sunshine. So that's the best they'll look the entire season before they pretty much get fried up. Big, beautiful double rainbow here yesterday. So we had the perfect ingredients with those pop-up isolated storms. You still had some late day sun. You need that sun angle to be pretty low to hit those raindrops and give us that reflection. So there was a good recipe for those rainbows. Thank you, Kim White there in Sellersburg, for sharing that one to our Indiana Skies group as well. So if you haven't checked that out, go to Indiana Skies. It's a group on Facebook where anybody throughout Indiana or wherever can share pictures of our Indiana skies. This is from Angie Keith up in Starlight, Indiana, not too far from Huber's there. Very, very vivid, bright rainbows. You can see all the little colors of the spectrum there. Was it Roy G. Biv? There you go. So Angie, thanks for sharing that one too. And that one surprised me there. All right, so forgot I put this one in. This is from Jason Applegate, producer, owner, Extol Media. Driving into work this morning, he caught Freaky Friday here. So we learned that it looks like this is turtle mating season. And I did notice there's been turtles crossing the road all the time. I just thought maybe it's because it was rainy or whatever, but I think they've got a mission. And that mission is, sorry for the invasion of privacy for those turtles there, but it looks like it is mating season for those turtles. All right, so that is the slideshow. Again, we'll get to the forecast here in just a moment. We have Jay Kays tuning in. Good morning to you. We have Patty Ham. Good morning. Jeff and I loving your new show. You seem to be much more laid back and relaxed. Yeah, take off the suit and tie and things change quite a bit. So thanks for watching, Patty and Jeff. Lori Daly, good morning from Meade County. Yeah, you've got some heavy rain moving through Meade County right now. In fact, let me go ahead and bring that up for you there, Lori, since you're tuning in there from Meade County. Let me go ahead and pop your comment. Whoa, we super zoomed in. Let me slow that one down there. So this is Meade County. And there you can see that's a heavy rainfall right on top of your area. Moving into Brandenburg right now is where we have some of the heaviest rain across the area. New Amsterdam. So that's going to cross over the river and into Harrison County. Yeah, some rumbles of thunder, possibly some brief gusty winds, but overall today the severe weather threat very, very low. There you can see also the radar site there by West Point and Fort Knox. That's the National Weather Service radar site and the live sweep right there. And that'll be tracking towards parts of Louisville as well, all just part of the scattered showers and thunderstorms that we're going to have across the area for today. So far, if you're in New Albany and Georgetown, Sellersburg, Jeff, up to Borden, Charlestown, as I mentioned, and up I-65 to Scottsburg, Austin, Brownstown, dry, but you can see what is on the way. There you can see that moderate to heavy rainfall just out to the west towards Leavenworth and English, and up towards French Lick and heading through Orleans, about to head towards Livonia and Salem. So everybody's pretty much 100% chance of that rain that's going to be moving through our area for today. Just wanted to show you that real quick, and we are going to get back to the forecast here for today since we saw what's going on right now. Let me go ahead and remove that, add that. So this weekend, we'll get into the weekend forecast here first. A pretty cool event happening tomorrow, KY Derby 2025. It benefits Parkinson's. TKO Fight Club presents TKO. Fight Club presents KY Derby 2025. They say it's the best derby party in town. 68 degrees tomorrow, mostly cloudy. I think we'll see some peaks of sunshine later in the day. North wind at around 5 to 10. That's at Progress Park. That's like in the West Butyl area. It definitely an urban area if you know that spot, but that is kind of an oasis in the middle there. They've got the Airstreams RV park with that you can actually rent at different times of the year, and they got a lake in the middle. Just kind of a cool spot. Yeah, you can get more information at kyburby.com. So if you want to check that out, something to do fun this weekend. Speaking of the weekend, that forecast today, 75 degrees, 80% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We could bump that up to 100 if you want. Pretty much everybody's going to get some rain. 55 tonight. That rain will diminish as we head through the overnight hours, and it'll taper off and will be dry for the weekend. So things will definitely be improving through the overnight hours. And then 68 for Saturday, mostly cloudy. Looks like mostly sunny for Sunday at a high of 72 degrees. Looking ahead here, again today, a few more details. Southwest winds at around 5 to 15. Our sunset right about 8:30. And that we might get some breaks in the rain, but just plan on periods of showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon and then turning lighter later on tonight. Sunset today, 8:29. We get those 9 p.m. sunsets, a little over a month, May 31st. The latest sunsets of the year, 9:10, right around the beginning of summer, June 22nd. And then we're back down to 9 p.m. sunsets around July 23rd. Good thing about the rain, too, everything's growing crazy with the kind of early part of the agriculture and growing season, but the pollen's being held down today thanks to the rainfall. So maybe some of you allergy sufferers will feel a little bit better out there. And then tomorrow, medium levels, so we start to dry out and the buds start to open back up. And then high levels on Sunday as we are dry. Tree, the predominant pollen, but starting to see some of the grass coming in to play as well. So, play ball forecast, probably no play ball forecast for this evening as it's going to be raining out there. I would say a lot of the ball games are going to be canceled, the outdoor games at least. So plan on showers and thunderstorms and temperatures in the 70s. Unless it's raining, might be in the 60s while it's raining. And then we'll see showers and thunderstorms diminishing through the overnight hours, cloudy and cool, low temperature at 55 for tonight, light northwest wind around 5 to 10, and sun up at 6:52 tomorrow morning. Here's the big 7-day forecast. We're going to go from 72, and we'll pop up to 82 Monday as we head into our Derby week, and then 84 Tuesday, our warmest day. 30% chance of a shower or storm Tuesday. It looks like that best chance will be towards the nighttime as a stationary front lays over the top of our area. When you think stationary front, think maybe a multi-day unsettled weather pattern because it just lays out and you get waves of disturbances moving through. So looks unsettled, unfortunately, for late Tuesday. Wednesday, I think we'll be heading out to the track, and hopefully we'll have some lighter rain showers there. Steamboat race as well, 77 Wednesday. Right now, giving that a 60% chance of scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Right now, it looks like the highest chance of Derby week for rain is Thursday for Thurby with a high of 78. It looks like system will be moving over the top of us Thursday. And then the hope is A lot of the model data showing that rain starting to move out Friday morning, Oaks morning, and then drying out for Oaks afternoon and turning a bit cooler behind that system for the 151st running of the Oaks, 70 degrees right there. All of the weather model data so far is dry for Derby Day. Been running through some of the stats just because they're kind of interesting. It can be hot, it can be cold for Oaks and Derby. 94 the record for Oaks and Derby for the high temperature. The coldest in the 30s, the wettest about 1.5 inches back in 1961 for Oaks. And about half of Oaks and Derbys have had rain at some point in the day. Had some sleet back in 1989 for the Derby. The wettest over 3 inches. We don't want that again. That was 7 years ago on May 5th, 2018. And again, about half the days have had rain. So Derby, scattered showers and thunderstorms, but it looks mild in the 70s. For Oaks, I've just got that rain chance in there for the morning time, hoping it dries out in the afternoon. And then Derby Day, 72 and some sunshine. We'll continue to fine-tune that forecast day by day, of course, and give you more details if there are any changes to that. All right, just looking over some of the comments here. And Judy Platt, thanks for tuning in here this morning. And feel free to keep the comments coming our way throughout our Ben at 10. So this is a look at the rainfall that we have across the area. And go ahead and put play on this, and you can kind of see the motion of the rain as it is moving in from the south and the west. I'll go ahead and bring this back up full screen. We'll get to the weather model data here in just a moment as well. But there you can see the live radar over this is an 1.5 hour loop. So you can see the motion of it kind of swirling in from the southwest. Again, I would not be concerned about severe weather for today. You might hear some rumbles of thunder and get some locally heavy rain and maybe some brief gusty winds out of this. But there you can see it is going to be very soggy here for the rest of this morning as it continues to progress off to the east and northeast over our region. I'm going to show you the bigger and broader view. So that might kind of be our main events. The rain that we have this morning into mid-afternoon, and then hopefully it just becomes a little bit more spotty. If you have some Friday evening plans, hoping it's not a washout. With that said, we might as well load up the weather model data here for you. So let me go ahead and bring up that scene. The future radar, we call it here. So this is going to be looking at the NAM 3 kilometer. It's a high resolution weather model. I'm going to bring it up to where we are now and see how well it's doing on picking up. So it is picking up on that blob of showers and thunderstorms that is out to our west. The weather models are not perfect, but you can see the general trend, and actually the placement pretty good where we just saw it, the real radar. So this is the modeling of the future of the radar. So this is at noon today. We're going to stop it here at around 1 o'clock. So yeah, around midday into the mid-afternoon hours, it looks the wettest across the area. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this at about 3 o'clock. As we start to warm up, we might get a couple of stronger thunderstorms to move through our area that might produce some gusty winds. But again, low severe weather threat here for us. And Debbie Cheatham, thanks for watching there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comment. So that's 3 p.m. Let's go ahead and go to 4. I'm going to probably do 2 of the high-resolution weather models. One is the NAM 3 kilometer. The other is the HER, the high-resolution rapid refresh weather model. And then we're going to go into the GFS weather model, which will take us through Derby week. And then we'll go ahead and do a recap of the forecast. All right, here is 5 o'clock for today. So again, I think a lot of the after-school events or games would probably be canceled due to the scattered showers and thunderstorms. If you did get a break in the rain, it probably won't last that long. This is around 6 o'clock. And then I'll bring this up here full screen for you. This is at 7 p.m. with the weather model data. Looking still just periods of scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Just a wet Friday here for us. And there could be some localized flooding, some ponding of water to be wary of if you're going to be driving around. 8 p.m., there we go, and heading into 9 o'clock. Again, hour by hour, we're stepping along here. This is 10 o'clock. There you can see that trend after sunset. Start to see some of that heaviest rain move off to the east. Could be a little bits and pieces of some showers left over a little bit later through the overnight, but that trend is going to be for that rain to be tapering off through the late night hours after midnight. So there you can see that favorable trend here for us to clear us out for the weekend. This is at 4 a.m. and there you can see the bulk of that rain heading over the Appalachians and off to the northeast. I'll go ahead and put us to sunrise tomorrow morning as we wait for the data to pop up. And there you can see, at best, maybe a little drizzle over probably east of I-65 in Kentucky. And we have a good morning from my mom and grandma. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday. And the Salem North Harrison game was canceled last night. Thankfully, we got our Borden game in. We just skirted between the heavy rain showers, thankfully, last night and got our ball game in. All right, so that was the NAM 3 kilometer. We'll just do a quick comparison here with the high resolution rapid refresh weather model, and I need to take this to where we are now. I'd like to compare and contrast how well it's picking up on what's actually happening. So it's doing very well on picking up on the scattered showers and thunderstorms that we have at time 0 right now. So that means the initialization, the mathematics, the data, the input is good in the weather model data. As we look ahead here, this is at noon, this is at 1 o'clock. Yeah, we get the picture. Very similar to the NAM 3 kilometer. Again, these high resolution weather models do take into account the convection, the thunderstorms, and it's just, it looks a lot more realistic than the longer range weather models that don't pick up on all that higher resolution data. So that is at 3 o'clock today, and yeah, it's just looking pretty messy out there as far as the rainfall. Have the galoshes, have the poncho, the umbrella if you're going to be spending some time outdoors today. I'm thinking about a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches rainfall total across the area. This is at 4 o'clock, stepping it ahead again hour by hour. This is 5 p.m. today, 6 p.m. Very, very similar to the data that we had with the other weather model that we just saw. And then notice that it starts to look less and less after sunset. This is at 9 p.m. And we're starting to see the bulk of the heaviest rain sliding to the east. The later we get into the nighttime, this is around 11 p.m. And there's those little bits and pieces of maybe some sprinkles or a couple light rain showers left through about midnight, and then starting to look better and better. So that'll leave us dry through the weekend. Again, mostly cloudy behind the system tomorrow in the 60s. It'll be a cooler day. It's prom for my daughter Hannah, so we're going to be taking some pictures outside. You may remember me earlier this week talking about Steve Miller. He's up off the grid at over 1,000 feet up, looking over the Borden Valley. That's where we'll be taking those pictures. Thank you, Steve Miller, if you're watching too, because I know you're working on a fire pit up there and making it look all nice for Hannah's little get-together and pictures before prom. Appreciate you, Steve. Good friend. So let's look ahead real quickly here. And by the way, I know a lot of us are weary of severe weather after early April. That risk is super, super low around our area. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center does not have our area under any risk of severe weather. It does have the slight risk of severe storms out west over Texas. Just this light green shading is just garden variety thunderstorms. So that's the good news there. As we look back to the weather model data, again, we'll bring up, we're going to kick ahead to Tuesday, the 29th. And I'll bring up the GFS weather model here. We got reflectivity. So let me pull the date down here to the 29th. We'll start it off 8 a.m. on the 29th, and this will be Tuesday. So Tuesday, we're looking at like well into the 80s here. It shows mainly dry conditions. I can't rule out maybe a stray shower, but mostly dry until we hit the nighttime. And then we're starting to lay out a stationary front over the region. We know what that's all about. That's what gave us all of that flooding in early April. But this is not going to last as long. I'm not worried about like any significant river flooding with this. And when you draw a stationary front, it's a warm front on top, it's a cold front on bottom. So that is what we're going to have. So stationary, you think stalled out, and possibly a couple of days of some showers and thunderstorms, unfortunately, for part of our Derby week. So that's Tuesday night. We start to see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms moving into the region. This is Wednesday morning. It's just kind of spotty. It's kind of scattered, it looks like. Perhaps not a washout, but just having some of that rain gear ready to go. That would be 5:02 day here, Wednesday at 5 p.m. on the last day of April, April the 30th. April is racing by here for us. Now, watch. It looks like we'll have a low pressure system moving in from the west, riding along the stationary front. So the stationary front's kind of like a highway, and then you get a disturbance or a low pressure system to ride along that stationary front. And that is what will likely happen here. You can see as we progress with the GFS weather model into Thursday. It looks like that system is on top of us. Perhaps not a washout. Right now it's showing the wettest in the morning Thursday. That timing is going to change between now and then. And there you can see more of that rain for Thursday night. So that is a wet looking May 1st. Thurby next week. Here's what we want though. Here's May 2nd, Oaks. Notice, if you look closely here, that rain's starting to move off to the east. This is around 5 a.m. Friday morning, Oaks morning. So that is what we want. That has been the trend with the European weather model and the GFS weather model, mostly dry and cooler for Oaks afternoon. If you got some plans to be out of Oaks and Derby. And as I jump ahead to our May 3rd, Derby afternoon there at 5 p.m., it is looking nice and quiet around the region. Looks like we'll have sunshine on the way for Derby Day, and right now upper 60s, low 70s for much of the day. And Vicky asking here, do I grow a garden? I tried for a couple years. I just could not keep up with the weeds and everything. So I gave up. I gave up on the garden. Maybe someday, if I have more time, to give it the love it needs. But got some neighbors that do gardening, and I'll just live vicariously through all of their gardening, Vicky. So how about you? Who out there is gardening? I know there's been I've seen a lot of tilling lately, getting the gardens going, maybe some planting as well, but I'm not seeing any freezing temperatures. So if you are thinking about gardening, I think we got the green light here. Green light for the green thumbs. Mary Dale, good morning to you. Thanks for watching our Ben at 10 here at 10:32. So that is a look at the weather model data in detail there. Again, we've got the showers and thunderstorms across the area today. We can go back to the live radar. Excuse me, little pollen perhaps from mowing yesterday. All right, let's go to live radar, and it will zoom back into our area as this begins to load up here. It should take just a second. And there we go. We got the live scan. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up full screen for you so you can see who's wet, who's not across the area. As we zoom in along and west of I-65 in southern Indiana, there you can see that rain filling in, very wet around Orange County, Paoli, and you're driving toward down 150 toward Hardinsburg, starting to get wet there. South towards Milltown into Crawford County, around English to Milltown, into Harrison County now. You can see all that heavy rain starting to move your direction here in Corden and New Middletown, Elizabeth, and we're talking about probably half inch to inch per hour rainfall rates. You'll pick up a decent amount in the rain bucket there, the rain gauge in Harrison County. As that moves through your area, that's going to be heading towards Georgetown, New Albany, Floyd County, and pretty much all areas in southern Indiana over the next couple of hours as that moves off to the east and northeast and heading towards Louisville as well. You can see more of the scattered showers and thunderstorms off to the south. I'm going to shift this over. I want to show you the interactive radar too, by the way. And you can check this out at extolmag.com/weather. And it's got all your interactive radar, your temperatures, your winds. You can plot whatever you want on here. And so there you can see matching up very well with the radar data that we have on our other system. I do have the lightning strikes turned on. There were a few lightning strikes earlier. I'm only seeing a couple. So this is a good spot to check out the lightning strikes. Looks like there was a lightning strike there in Meade County just a few moments ago, and just off to the south of Elizabethtown. So not much lightning, not much electricity in these showers and thunderstorms. No alerts, no watches or warnings. Severe weather threat is going to be very, very low for our area for today. Just watch now for the potential of some ponding of water on the roadways and maybe some localized flooding as that moves through. So that is a very easy to use interactive radar. As you saw, you can zoom in, zoom out, plot temps, plot the winds, plot any alerts that might be happening in your area. It also has storm tracks that you can put on, and it will tell you where that storm is going, and it shows you the towns that are in the way and the impact and the speed. So that one's moving northeast at around 30 miles per hour. That's near Rough River. And so a lot of tools here for free at extolmag.com/weather. And then you can look across the whole United States at whatever different alerts there are. And you can actually kind of go global and check out temperatures as well. So really awesome technology, data, and tools right at your fingertips there at our website. Let me go ahead and escape that and move up to where you can see some more stuff here for you. We've got our live show here streaming Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. And you can follow right along, extolmag.com. It's got us our live stream up right now. Interactive radar to your right, current conditions 68 degrees. Light winds today, south winds around 5 to 15. I always get to the 7-day forecast. You can pop up there. And the weather story and all the different weather maps, regional radar. Again, just giving you a little tour of extolmag.com/weather. So there we go. A lot happening as far as rain for today. And I do want to give a shout out here to our partners in WSB. I'll making a stop by the bank here right after the show. I've had years of loans with them and banking. They're so easy to work with, friendly. Check them out, NWSB, Libs Paving Company. Tough day to be paving with all the rainfall across the area, but they could be hiring. You may want to check out their website, Libs Paving. And we got Lions Roofing. You can see their sponsorship right there on our website, extolmag.com as well. And we'll be doing likely some Brad the Builder segments next week. Stay tuned for that. You can participate in that if you have any questions about anything around the home. He is the expert, and we'll be talking with him. So thanks to our partners there. All right, so that is what we have happening. I'll get to the forecast, and then we'll probably wrap things up here for our Friday edition of Ben at 10. And we'll start with the weekend forecast. Remove that, bring up this. So we're looking good for the weekend. After today's scattered showers and thunderstorms, we're looking at cool and cloudy, mostly cloudy tomorrow, 68 degrees, and then some sunshine and lower 70s for our Sunday. And that would be our last weekend of April right there, as it'll be early May and Derby weekend next weekend. 75 today, scattered showers and thunderstorms, locally heavy rain possible, southwest winds around 5 to 15, sunset at 8:30. Could see around a ½ inch to an 1.5 inches of rainfall tonight, before it diminishes overnight. Sunsets at around 8:30. Low pollen today, thanks to the rain. Medium tomorrow, and then high pollen levels on Sunday. Again, probably a washout for the ball games this evening. Temps in the 70s. Late afternoon, then upper 60s as we head towards sunset, and that overnight low temperature looking at a low of 55 degrees as the showers diminish through the late night hours, cloudy and cool after that, and a light wind from the northwest at around 5 to 10. And our sunrise tomorrow at 6:52. And here's the big 7-day forecast here for you. We've got a jump to 82, about 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year Monday. At the bottom left portion of your screen there, you can see the normal high and the normal lows. At 73 is our normal high now. 52 is our normal low temperature. Sunrise, sunset info, bottom right. And you can always get this, again, at our website, and I post this every day, too, to my Meteorologist Ben Peine page. 84, our warmest day Tuesday, with a chance for a few showers late Tuesday and some thunderstorms Tuesday night. Stationary front lays over the area. We saw that with the weather model data just a moment ago. So increasing chances of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Hopefully we can keep the severe weather threat low Wednesday and Thursday. And then we're looking at temps staying on the warm, mild side next week. We're looking at 77 Wednesday, 78 for Thursday, and then for the Oaks, 70 degrees. And hopefully that rain chance is in the early morning and drying out for our Derby or Oaks afternoon. Kentucky Derby right now looking all dry with pretty much all the weather model data that we've been looking at. And just giving a couple shout outs here for you guys tuning in a little bit later. Mary Dale, good morning to you. Lori Daly says she got her garden in and ready to go. So blessings to your garden. Hopefully it'll be very productive. And Larry Bauer has 2 raised gardens, and hope yours do really well as well. And a good day for that, Sharon King. Indoor chores today. Take care, everyone. I did some outdoor chores yesterday with the mowing in the rain, and also trying to help out with some laundry and some dishes. And that is a nonstop thing in our house with 2 teenagers. It's laundry 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Vicky saying, couldn't do a garden last year because of health. The last garden, we produced 258 quarts of green beans, large garden, and it's raining here now. So, yeah, good luck this season with your garden. Kathy Bryant, thanks for tuning in. And Vicky might get the last comment again for today as we are up to 10:41 on our Happy Friday Ben at 10, April 25th. Reminder, you can always catch Ben at 10 on my Facebook page. Perhaps that's where you're popping in right now, at Meteorologist Ben Peine. And then we're on Extol Weather. Got a replay there. Give us the like or the follow there on Extol Weather. Just search that on your tab there and Facebook and your search bar. And then head to Extol Media on YouTube. And we've got a lot of content that we'll be sharing there. Every morning I've been doing reels as the walk-in to work weather. Thanks for watching those too. Thanks so much for your support. Thanks for watching this week. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And it's all about Derby as we head into next week. So Monday morning at 9 a.m., we've got Extol Unfiltered with Angie Fenton and myself. And I think it's going to be more Derby themed. So maybe not as cash on Monday. So tune in to our Derby edition of Extol Unfiltered Monday morning, 9 a.m. before Ben at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. We've got a late edition comment. We'll get a couple more in. Raining hard in Borden right now from Beverly Haggist. And have a good weekend. Peine. Yeah, so it's funny you say that because my ancestors that came over from Germany, this is the story, probably great-great-great-grandfather, was telling people how to pronounce P-E-I-N-E and said, it's like a pie on your knee, Peine. So there you go. Thanks, Tim, for helping us out there. All right, real quick, before we do the goodbye, because Beverly just mentioned that heavy rain there in Borden, might as well do a quick tour of the radar before we hang it up here on this Friday. We'll go ahead and go full screen here. So there you can see west of 65, lots and lots of rainfall. Starting to see, we'll slow down on that zoom a little bit. There you can see as we zoom into New Albany, starting to see some light to moderate showers as we get a little bit closer to street level along the Lee Hamilton there, and it looks like Grant Line Road got a pocket of some heavier rain there over IUS and the Taco Bell that I frequent. And then over Borden, as Beverly was saying, we've got the heavy rain moving into the Borden Valley right over the top of Borden and up Daisy Hill and up into the Clark Forest, and that goes up into 160 towards Henryville. You're going to have that moving your direction here very soon. And as we look a little bit farther west, that rain spreading through Lawrence County, Mitchell, Orleans, soaking rain now over at Livonia as you take 56 from Paoli through Livonia towards Salem, starting to get wet there. Hardinsburg, all in that saturated weather. Milltown to Crandall there as we look through Crawford County. You got the heavy rain, and it's coming down in buckets over Harrison County too. Corden always seems to get the heavy stuff. So you've got heavy rain surrounding your area there in Corden, along and south, and on either side of Interstate 64, really. And then down toward Elizabeth and down towards the boat, down towards 111. Well, I guess not the boat anymore. Down towards the casino. There you can see the heavy rainfall. Over the river, heavy rain cruising through Breckenridge and Meade counties, Elizabethtown getting in on some of that rainfall, and either side of 65 in Kentucky, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, the severe weather threat, super duper low for us today. Just watch out for some of that ponding of water on the roads and maybe some localized flooding as well. Salem's prom is this weekend too. Yeah, thankfully drying out for all the proms out there. So we have made it up to 10:45 on this April the 25th. It's Friday. Hope you guys have a great Friday, a fantastic weekend. And again, please join us for Extol Unfiltered, 9 a.m. Derby edition Monday morning. Ben at 10, Monday through Friday next week. Have a good one.